And say an official thank you to my colleagues here at the State Library, Bonnie and Janae, for leading us through this super quick tour on our lunch series all about Brainfuse. Take it away, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sam, and thanks to all of you for joining us and spending your lunchtime with us this afternoon. We are going to spend a little bit of time today refreshing, reminding, maybe introducing for the first time the Brainfuse products that the State Library is providing to your libraries. I'm Bonnie McEwen with the Northwest District Office, and I'm joined by Janae Jackson-Doring, our Youth Services Consultant. We are both State Library people, and we're glad to have you here. I wanted to share this slide because I really like this mission statement that comes from Brainfuse. Our mission is to connect people who want to learn with experts who love to teach. So I think that's a pretty cool mission statement. I think there's common ground with all of us in library land too, because I think a library's mission is to connect people who want to learn with people who can help you learn. And so that is so much a part of what the Brainfuse products can do for you and your patrons. Sam mentioned that Janae and I have just a few slides, only a dozen or so to share. We know we only have 30 minutes. It's not like we're gonna, be blabbing right up until 12:45, but we think that these visuals sometimes often are a nice way to help reinforce some of these things. So just a few slides coming your way. Please do, as Sam mentioned, use the chat space to send us any questions if we're not hitting exactly on what you need to know. I have long thought of Brainfuse as a three-legged stool, so that's why you see my image here. The legs that came first are JobNow and VetNow. JobNow, of course, is a very unique career assistance program that helps people, adults, navigate their way through maybe looking for career opportunities or maybe to look to switch careers. VetNow is for veterans, military folks and their families to help them navigate veteran benefits. So those are the two legs that came first. The third leg of our three-legged Brainfuse stool came to us in 2021, and the third leg is HelpNow. That is a very robust homework help feature for students of all ages, not just kids K through high school, but certainly for adult learners who are going back to school as well. So the State Library is springing for HelpNow as our newest feature. The other two are provided by Iowa Workforce Development. So this is just a wonderful product for you to become better acquainted with so that in turn you can share this product with your community members. So I will flip it to Janae for her to talk with you about HelpNow, the homework help feature. We want to start there because as you're winding up summer programming, it won't be long before school starts again. So let's take a look at the HelpNow feature first.
Thank you, Bonnie, and thank you, Sam, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janae Jackson-Doring. I'm the Youth Services Consultant for the State Library of Iowa, and I'm excited to show you all the features with Brainfuse HelpNow. HelpNow is divided into three parts on their site: expert help, study, and collaborate. But the premier feature is the live tutoring service. And that live tutoring service is available every day from 2:00 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time. The cool thing is that students can be connected in real time to teachers and tutors through a live online chat space. All of the tutors that Brainfuse hires, they are trained and skilled and managed by Brainfuse. They are recruited from a diverse pool of applicants. So they have professional tutors, retired instructors, graduate students, and college faculty members. They all have proven backgrounds in tutoring and teaching in their respective fields. They are hired by Brainfuse, and over 80% of tutors on the Brainfuse site have a master's degree or a PhD in their respective fields. So it's a wonderful service. Other features under the expert help section, there is an online writing lab. So students that have a paper or just a large essay that they have to write, they can upload that essay and have it looked at by writing experts in real time and get those edits that they need. There's also a send question button where if a student has a question, they can email that question on the Brainfuse platform and they can get an answer within 24 hours. So if they have examples for like math concepts, if they need help with math concepts, they'll get an explanation of how that works, but not the answer to that actual math problem. So it's a very wonderful feature. There's also Skill Surfer, and that has really cool self-paced learning through lessons and video tutorials and practice tests and worksheets. So if a student is struggling with math or English, there's actual worksheets that they can use to build on their skills for all grade levels. And it has really, really cool things like college entrance test prep. So if you have someone studying for the ACT, SAT, or AP classes, there are preparation tests on this Brainfuse platform that they can use for free. It's super duper cool. There's even info about how to apply for college, basically writing the essays. FAFSA help. I could not believe learning about FAFSA help. Did anybody else need FAFSA help when they were applying for the FAFSA? Because I know I did. Yes, it's so cool to have that, to have those tools at your disposal for free. There's also under study, the flashbulb. Now you're probably thinking, what do I need a flashbulb for? Flashbulb is really cool because you can make your own flashcards. They have a cloud feature, kind of like an iCloud feature, where you can create your own flashcards and save them on their cloud. They also have pre-packaged flashbulb flashcards on different subjects as well that your students can use. Under the collaborate portion, there's Meet, where students can meet with teachers and tutors in real time in a virtual study room. So that's a very, very cool platform. Also at the top of the HelpNow website, there's an adult learning center. It says adult learners, but if you click on that, patrons are connected to the adult learning center, where adults can receive resume writing help. They can get practice on the high school equivalency test prep. If they are a refugee or an immigrant just coming to the United States and they're learning about how to become a US citizen, there's also practice tests for the US citizenship test. So that is a wonderful, wonderful feature to tell your patrons as well. I think I've covered it, Bonnie. I'm gonna turn it back to you.
All right. Well, are there any questions that popped up about the HelpNow feature so far?
I have one.
Okay.
You mentioned the live tutoring. Do you know offhand the hours that's available for the state of Iowa?
2 o'clock p.m. to 11 p.m. Central District Time.
Awesome. Yes, Janine says, I need to learn more about this and promote it. I'm sort of curious in the chat if folks can chime in if you're using it. Oh, then there's another good question in the chat, Janae. I think I read somewhere you can learn to play chess on Brainfuse.
Yes.
Is this true?
It is true. There are experts in chess that can teach you how to play chess and how to brush up on your skills to be a better chess player. And again, this is free.
I love that for an after-school chess program.
Oh,
can patrons use it outside the library?
Yes, they can. So they would have on the Brainfuse HelpNow platform, you will have to have your patrons create an account. So they'll need to come up with a username and a password. It is all free. Just make sure that you are telling them to write down that username and password, because, when the library's closed, we can't look up that info for you. So make sure that you have them create a username and password, and then they're able to use that outside of the library's hours.
I think I'm going to answer the easy question that came through here first. The chess, I think, is under like a featured kind of banner, isn't it? The last time I looked at it, I'm not seeing it on your screenshot here, but I think you'll find it.
It's under the expert help.
Okay.
Because you have to go to the HelpNow, but it is under the expert help. It's under language lab and then chess.
And then there's this question about eligibility, and Bonnie, maybe that's something that comes up with JobNow, VetNow too, or can one of you address, do patrons need to prove eligibility by being a valid city library card holder?
Well, patrons would approach their own public library to use the product. We hope that all of our Iowa libraries have put these Brainfuse buttons out on their websites. So patrons approach their own hometown library to get started with this and establish their account that way. That's my understanding.
I am grabbing right now to answer the next question, marketing items. We have this whole page. Bon, is this coming up? Am I jumping the gun?
Well, I think I have a slide or two coming up about marketing pieces.
So then I'll hang tight on that and we can transition.
Let's see if they do. I just wanted to add that another good reason besides to set up a Brainfuse account for individual patrons so that they can use these products at home anytime, even when the library is closed. Another good reason is because if patrons want to, or kids in terms of using Brainfuse, want to correspond with any of the tutors and send test papers back and forth for critiques, then the tutors have to have an email address to send their critiqued papers back and forth again. So that's another good reason to explain why that's necessary. I think I have marketing materials coming up, but if I don't, Sam, circle back to that if you would. So JobNow, as I said, JobNow and VetNow came on the scene first, and JobNow really is certainly for job seekers. Adults, we think of adults as job seekers, but there are plenty of teenagers out there who are looking for jobs as well. It could be people looking to switch jobs or find work with a new company. I'm thinking here and wondering how many workers who worked at the Tyson plant in North Sioux City when the Tyson plant closed last fall, how many Siouxland workers, a great many Siouxland workers were displaced by that plant closing. So that would have been an ideal time to for patrons in Siouxland to have known about the JobNow feature for sure. But there's also high school kids who might not be going on to college immediately. They might want a job after high school graduation. So you can see here that, again, with JobNow, there is also a live coaching feature available as well from 12 noon to 10 p.m. Central Time. You can get help with resume writing, with prepping for interviews, and there are so many great skill builders in JobNow inside the Adult Learning Center. Access to the high school equivalency tests, the U.S. citizenship tests, and what's especially cool, there are Microsoft Office skill builders in JobNow as well. I don't know if you guys remember years ago, one of the most popular books that came out in terms of career studies was What Color is Your Parachute? That was a huge bestseller for years and years. Well, Brainfuse has a partnership with that idea. And in Brainfuse, they call it e-parachute. It's a Brainfuse partnership offering an online resources that's created by the author of What Colors Your Parachute. So I think that's very cool. If you're familiar with that book, then tap into e-parachute and see what that has to say. And then the third feature here of Brainfuse is VetNow. It's developed and intended for our veterans and military personnel and their families to help navigate the veterans' benefits and the veterans' websites. It's a very nice product as people in the military are looking to transition from their military career to a civilian career. And it's also a very nice product to help people kind of think through how they can parlay the skills they learned in the military to translating those same skills into civilian jobs. There's college prep courses in here as well, and you can see on the slide also live support with a veteran benefits navigator, live support, again available Monday through Friday, in this case from 1 to 9 Central Time. So let's see if in fact, I have
think
some
that's my slide.
marketing stuff. This is you.
Yeah.
I was looking to see if maybe what was coming next was marketing, but maybe it's still to come.
I think that's the next one, if memory serves me right. So with patron questions, I'm sure you get a ton of patron questions every day. And there's some examples here of maybe some scenarios that you might encounter. So what if you have a high schooler that comes to you that says, hey, I need to brush up on algebra skills over a school break because I have a test. Where can you send them? What could you do? With Brainfuse, you could send that high school student to the Skills Surfer portion of Brainfuse, of the HelpNow portion, where they can select based on their grade level, high school, and then they can select algebra or pre-algebra, and they can get those practice problems and review videos to help them brush over those algebra skills. If you have your job seeker that is looking for a totally new career, have them check out eParachute. eParachute is so cool because it has the assessments that patrons can take. They can sit at a computer and take assessments over what kinds of careers they like, what kinds of things do they want in a job. And then that platform will give them some suggestions of careers maybe they could explore. What if you have a job seeker that wants to improve their resume? Where would you send them? Do you know? You could have them sit at a computer and look at the different websites, but Brainfuse has an adult learner feature, and it has a resume writing lab. It has a really cool resume writing lab where they will get edits on their resume so they can upload that resume to the online learning platform. And within 24 hours, that resume will be sent back with edits and reviews to help them improve their resume skills. Let's say you've got a middle schooler who wants feedback on an English paper, and they're like, I don't know what to do. This paper's due tomorrow, help. You can have them upload that paper to the online writing lab. So they can attach it as a document, and there's a portion on that platform where it says, please add any comments about your paper. They can add those comments to that platform, upload it, send it to the expert, and then the expert sends it back with any extra tips and things that they need to improve on it. And all of this is free. And I know there's homeschoolers. I know you've worked with a ton of homeschoolers, but you might have a homeschool parent that comes in and says, hey, I really want to make flashcards for my kid. They're studying master biology. Help. What do I do? You can have them go to the flashbulb feature. They can make their own flashcards and they can put them on their cloud. And it has it where you can play a game where you can review the flashcards. And if the child got it right, they can put it where it says correct flashcards, or if they got that part wrong, they can put it in the pile that says need review. It's a pretty slick feature. And if you have a veteran looking to connect to resources and benefits, again, have them go to the VetNow portion where they can connect with a veteran who is trained to help other veterans find the resources that they need. So, as a reminder, how do I get to this? This is a cool platform. How do I access it? You can go to the statelibraryofoiowa.org, our website. Under that blue bar, there should be a portion that says libraries or for libraries. Click on it, then go to online resources and tools for libraries. Then it'll take you to Brainfuse for libraries. And on that page, there are Brainfuse marketing materials and all of the information that Bonnie and I just shared with you. So if you get stuck and you're like, I forgot what she said, what they both said, help, this is the pathway to get there.
There you go. We did give a nod to Brainfuse marketing materials. I couldn't remember if it was a button or a page, but there you are, and there are more links.
I want to say one more thing on the topic of marketing, and I hope that if I'm inaccurate, someone in the room can keep me honest, but I believe there's also a monthly email that comes out from a Brainfuse staffer who, and Fairy just mentioned it. Diane Bizzle is her name. Her email address is going in the chat, dweltzer@brainfuse.com. And she sends out monthly marketing emails that you can use and take what she sends and sort of promote it directly to your patrons. There's graphics there, there's text there, really helpful. So definitely tap Diane.
And by the way, I think if my memory serves me right, all of these videos are on the State Library of Iowa's YouTube continuing education platform. So any of these videos you can access on the YouTube platform with the State Library of Iowa.
All right. So you see links here for training videos, webinars, and general resources. And now, the question of the day. How do you guys get to Carnegie Hall? I love this question. And here are my answers for you. You can watch those tutorials and those recordings that Janae mentioned that are up on our YouTube channel, and they're linked from the State Library's website. You can print those promotional materials that Sam just referenced. And I think my next slide shows you some practice sample patron scenarios that were developed a couple of years ago by Marie Harms at the State Library. Those are really fun to work with. And, you know, I think of all of these things, I think one of my favorite ideas here is if all of the libraries in your county, we hope all of the libraries in your county are hooked up with Brainfuse, you've added the buttons to your websites, all of your staffs and all of the libraries are looking as you are to become more familiar with these products. Why not have some Zoom meetings with the library staff in your county and talk about these very things that we're talking about today, and maybe work through some of these practice patron scenarios, or at least talk with each other on a countywide basis about how you're promoting and learn from each other the success stories of how your patrons have been tapping into the Brainfuse products themselves, and share with each other those success stories, because nothing gets you to Carnegie Hall faster than those success stories. Practice, 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 right? That's the punchline to how do you get to Carnegie Hall. Practice with each other and with those, certainly with those on your staff and with the staff throughout the county. These are the patron scenarios that I mentioned. And it's very similar to what Janae showed you in terms of some of those patron questions that might be asked of you. So that's fun. And I think this brings us to the end of our slideshow, but if you guys have other questions, comments, I mentioned those success stories, and Sam did too a little bit ago. We'd sure love to hear from you. If you have great testimonials from your own patrons about Brainfuse, share those with us because it's really important for us to hear those too.
Absolutely. We had a question that came through about ESL tutoring available, and as an English and English second language. And I don't see that they do have that, but they do have live tutoring available in Spanish. If you have a Spanish-speaking patron that can use help when you go through the process of starting the live tutoring, you can check tutor in Spanish. So while there's not perhaps English language instruction, that could be helpful for folks adjusting as well. Yeah. Did you see Ferry's comment, Bonnie, how she practiced? Sharing it with trustees as part
That's
of board
awesome.
education.
I love that idea. That's a wonderful thing to do for board education. Even though board members won't have the daily use of this or interaction with patrons that you do, I really think it's important for board members to have to be conversant and somewhat familiar with these products that your library is offering to the community. That's a great thing to do.
Mm-hmm. You could even potentially, if you've got a laptop around, hand laptop out to the board and say, hey, how would you help this person improve their resume?
Wouldn't
Kind
that
of
be
give them
fun?
give them some of your scenarios here.
There you go. Use these scenarios with your boards.
And
See
test
if
it out
they
for yourself.
give them a pass-fail.
Yeah. Very good. Someone else mentioned demos for the school. And I do think that that's something I've seen before. I think anytime you're talking with teachers, I think how cool that flashcard tool would be to promote to a teacher to say, hey, you're working on your biology class here. You can have the students make their own flashcards right here, where you could make a set of flashcards for them. So I think a great thing to bring up when you're doing outreach to the schools. I don't see, the statistics was the other thing I said I would mention. A couple people asked about statistics, and Amanda Grom, LRT for Northwest District, chimed in to say that your library resource technician can help you gather statistics for your library related to this product. So wanted to mention that for the good of the recording. And Bonnie, I'll let you bring us home.
Well, that's what we have today in our Lunch and Learn, a little spin through Brainfuse. So that was lunch. I need to ask you guys what you're planning for supper because I have no clue what I'm planning for supper.
Thursday nights in the Bowers house is always pizza night. So
is it?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool to have a tradition like that.
Our spaghetti and meatballs.
Ooh, that's what we had last night. Well, I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. Thank you to Bonnie and Janae. Now, I do feel a little guilty that we took up your lunch time here. So I hope y'all grab a cup of coffee, go for a walk, get out for a couple minutes maybe before your afternoon rush starts. So thanks you guys for learning about Brainfuse with us. My thanks to Bonnie and Janae for putting this recording together. And we'll see you guys next time. Oh, let me say before you go, speaking of next time and library statistics, our September edition will be library statistics. So someone mentioned summer reading is ending, time to turn our attention to the annual survey. And so that's what we'll be doing next month, is talking about the statistics you provide to the state library, what we do with them, what you can do with them. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be fun. Shirley says, say less. No, really do say less. And thank you, Shirley, for that. And you will co-present this one with Scott now for your cheek. I think I'm just kidding you. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming. Join us in September, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.